Howdy, Possum Patty, Miss Stinky Winky Woos, Little Miss Titi, and we are all here to share with you how we are going to put together this flower-shaped journal for some summer journaling. Come on along. To start this journal, I had purchased this wood daisy shape at the Dollar Tree, of course, $1.25. And then I was excited to use my new wood burner tool to put this flower design on here, and then I painted it with acrylics. I know it's been a little while, so I will link that video below. I'll put the playlist of how I did the front of this journal. I only bought one of these wooden pieces, so what I did was take a piece of heavy cardboard, which was a little bit hard to cut out, but that's okay. And I traced it on there and got Mr. Possum to help me cut it. Now, how am I going to bind it together to make it a book? Well, a book has to function, right? A book has to open and close. And if you might notice that this sticks out a little bit further than that. I picked the two shorter petals to be the bottom. So when I put it on the shelf, it will stand even like this. So it does have a top and a bottom. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not going for perfection here. It is possum perfect, okay? So these are uneven, but we want it to be even to make a spine, you know, so that it will function as a book. So how am I going to do that? The first thing I did was cut two more pieces of that heavy-duty cardboard. I put gesso on them because I'm not quite sure if I'm going to paint these or collage these or put material. Now these squares, well, I have one that's marked. Where's the other one? Here it is. I put this on the square. It's really a rectangle, I know. Like this. See how it covers in a nice rectangle pattern the back of the flower. And I know you're going to be able to see this. So I'm either going to paint it or collage it or something. We'll think about that in a minute. I just want to show you how I'm going to put this together. And then I have one for the back. I have to make sure I have it on the right side for the bottom. All right, so this is going to be the back like that. See, so now I have this perfectly straight edge that I can put a spine on. And I know I'm losing that one little shape of the flower, but that's okay because we want it to function as a journal and open and close. So I'm going to have one straight edge and this lovely shape for the rest of the journal. So I'm going to work on this right after I decide whether I'm going to paint this or put some paper or fabric on it. So I thought that while I was thinking about that, I would start by making some pages. So what I did here was I had marked this so I know where it goes. I put this on a piece of paper. These are 12 by 12 sheets. I just got these at the flea market, so you know they cost like 7 cents a piece. Some of the paper I got was like 3 cents and some was 7 cents. It was all very, very cheap at the flea market. Now I make sure I have this all lined up. And then I take my pencil, which is, or was, is or was right here. Here, we'll grab this one. Okay. And, let's see, is that on right? Looks about right. Okay. And I just traced around like that. But now here's one thing that you have to think about. And that is putting the spine together. Make sure I've got this lined up again here. Looks like my tracing is off a bit. My tracing is always off. I'm not a good tracer. I do want that side to be straight. And I'll probably come in. Oh, you know what? That's because I traced the other thing, so that's fine. So you see how the one I've already cut is a little bit shorter. Because when I put the spine on here, like this, it's going to take up just a little bit of room. It's going to take up the thickness of this heavy cardboard. So I took my scissors and went in a scotch and cut up there. Now, how much is a scotch? Okay, a scotch, if you want to be technical, is exactly 3 millimeters. And that's what a scotch is. And then I not so carefully cut it out. No matter how hard I try. Yes, no matter how hard I try. For some reason, I find it difficult to stay on the line. And I know you're supposed to turn the paper, not the scissors. But every once in a while, I go right off the line. Now, I think I'm going to put 16 pages. 16 pages. In the book, and then I'm going to attach them so they're doubles, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that, and then just sew them in like a regular book binding, you know, with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And if you haven't done that before, I will show you that too. Okay, now I got to cut off a scotch. That doesn't look very straight. All right, let's see if we can get it straight. Uh-oh, here comes TT. All right, so. Okay. None of it is going to be perfect. Now, when I put two pieces together, what I'm going to do, TT's trying to eat this paper. So let me get it out of the way. I'm going to cut a piece that is going to be about, I don't know, about that wide. And this is an inch. And I'm going to cut it the length of this. And I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to take my fancy bone folder. and crease that like that. And then I am going to glue one page on that side. Make sure you've got it going the right way. And one page on this side, like this. And then I'll just be sewing in the seam. Or you could put the seam on this side if you'd like. I don't know if it makes a difference. You could put them together like this, or you could put them together like this. It might be easier to glue that way. And no matter how carefully you cut or trace, they are not going to be perfect, because we are not machines. We are human beings making handmade journals. All right, I'm going to save this paper because I'm going to cut strips to make these little pieces. Is this one big enough? Almost. Almost. Well, now my task is to finish cutting flowers. I have 3 done. 3 done, and how many did I say? 16? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes, okay. Lucky 13 more to go. And I tried to pick some summer colors, garden colors, butterfly colors, fairy colors. I like this bright green, pretty blue. I picked a deeper yellow and a paler yellow. And I think there's pink right there, purple, blue, and like I said, the paler yellow. Now, this is a mistake that a lot of people make, and they don't even realize it. When you trace something and cut it, it's like none of these things are lining up, are they? Either make a pattern and use just the pattern, or pick one piece that you think came out the best. And I'm not sure, they're all they're all off a little bit. So let me just pick one. I'm going to pick this green one. Now, always use this green one to trace. And here is why. I move TT's feet. If I use this green one to trace and make this yellow one here, and then I say I use the yellow one to make the blue one, and the blue one to make the purple one, and the purple one to make the pink one, etc., etc., etc. What happens is, if I am off just a little bit each time, by the time I get to the very last sheet, this is going to look like a pumpkin and not a daisy. Because you'll be going off and then using that one and going off a little bit and using that one and going off a little bit. So stick to one piece to trace a pattern. And just use your pattern, or just use one piece. Well, I guess this wasn't the best one because already I can see that I went off up here. See right there? I went off right there. But that's okay. It's not off by very much. So I'm going to keep using this one. And I want to show you the first one that I cut already has a Band-Aid. Because for some reason I cut into the flower petal and I just stuck some washi tape on there. I can see the ends coming up a little bit there. Stick down a little bit more. And since I'm going to be covering it with something, I'm sure, it doesn't matter, and it's okay to have a Band-Aid on one of your pages. Yeah, so, yeah, I put a slice right in there and just covered it up. Good as new. Good as new. Okay, now I have a cat in my lap, but I have a lot of tracing and cutting to do. Well, that was quite a project, but I've got all of my flower shapes cut out. An extra piece of paper, I think. I'll count them all in a second here. Of course, little Miss Titi had to help, didn't she? And make sure these are all going the right way, because they are unidirectional. The bottom is the bottom, and the top is the top. Now all I have to do, I save these scraps, is cut them into strips to glue these things together. I'm going to mix the colors all up when I go to put them on. Right now I am just counting. Oh, I didn't cut those. I got 2 over here. Is that it? I think that is it. Not too bad. Not too bad. 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 pages.
Okay, now, where's that little sample strip I had? Oh, I still got dandelions everywhere. Aha, here it is. Perfect. Okay, I need 7 more of these. And they are 1 inch wide and as long as that 1 by 6. And I'm going to make them all different colors. I got to trim that straight. And they're going to be 1 inch by 6. All right, I'm going to mark them. Pencils are here somewhere, saw them a minute ago. Perfect, perfect. Okay, that was easy peasy. Now I'm going to go ahead and fold all of these in half. Now to get these glued down. So I'm just going to take the strip like this. I think this is going to be the easiest. I hope. Let's see. Shmoo glue. I'm going to shmoo the glue. I'm not adding more, I'm just trying to spread out what's there. I'm not squeezing the bottle. Okay. And then I gotta remember where the center was there. Make sure all my papers are in the right direction. And I'm gonna put one on this side. And one on this side. Ooh. This is the watery glue. But that's okay. Oop. Oops. There's always a lot of oops, but that's okay. Perfect. It's not perfect. But you know what I mean. It works. If it works, it's perfect. I know it's a little tall. I'll trim that off. Now I only need to do this 7 more times. Okay, my little spine connectors there are dry. And I feel like putting a little bit of washi tape right down the middle here. So now that's going to, ooh, I got one off. Now that's going to take a while to dry.